Heard something that blew my mind the other day.
Do tell.
And it was basically about how security or exploits in Web3 are most often a byproduct of bad Web2 security practices.
Oh.
So it really made me start to think about password managers and two-factor authentication. And I thought, why not take today as an opportunity to talk through some Web2 security basics? Welcome back. If you are new here, we put together content on NFTs, Web3 products, digital art, kind of everything in the Degen space. So please be sure to like and subscribe.
Let's get started with tip number 1.
So the fun part of kicking off my new year was getting extra secure. And what I had done is, and this is a good just rule of thumb in general for passwords, do a regular reset of all of your passwords. Don't keep using the same password across multiple accounts, and don't use that same password for years at a time. You're just setting yourself up to be vulnerable for someone to hack you. So definitely reset your passwords and use a password manager. So on the screen is the password manager that I use. I use Strongbox. The reason I like it is because it's an open source password manager. This is Mac iOS specific, and there is a desktop and there is a mobile companion, but I choose to use it. I like it a lot because you can set up your own individual databases. So if you want to set passwords up in a certain database for a certain reason, you can. It just gives you a lot of flexibility, and the UI it's pretty good. So you can see here on the main screen, if you've used a password manager before, it's pretty much the same sort of setup here. So it's just one that I wasn't as familiar with that I started to use after the whole LastPass debacle, and it seems to be pretty safe and secure. And another good reason to use a password manager is you can generate passwords in there. So you can generate super secure passwords, which you really want to do. And I would suggest upgrading to Pro. If they give you a Pro product, I do that with Strongbox here because this is not an area that I want to be cheap and cut corners. So yeah. I think the membership here is only like $3.99 a month, whatever, totally doable. And you can obviously pay annually as well. But obviously, change passwords often, use secure passwords, and use a password manager that you don't give anybody else access to.
Tip number 2.
Next thing that you can do is setting up two-factor authentication. So 2FA, and I would suggest using a physical key for 2FA, and there's a few different ways you can go about doing that. So at the start of this year, I used my YubiKey. So I actually have a YubiKey here. It's really tiny. I can plug it into my laptop, and it gives me that physical 2FA security.
So for those who don't know what a 2FA looks like without a physical device, it's when a site asks you to verify with like a code through your email or through SMS text message or something. So this just takes it a step further.
Yeah. So I was going to get into the phone number 2FA in a second, but we can just skip to that now. So basically, when it comes to the authentication, there's a few different levels of security that you can go through. The physical key is the most secure that you can use.
Right.
The phone number is the least secure. And actually, I would recommend not even inputting it at all. And that's because if you get SIM jacked, which basically means it's another type of scam, if an attacker targets your phone and gains access to your phone number, if you use that phone number for your two-factor, they can go ahead and lock you out of all of those accounts. So your bank, your phone, whatever the case may be, they can start to change passwords and they can drain your accounts. So getting SIM jacked is incredibly serious, which is why I would never rely on a phone number for 2FA if you can get by without having to. And so that's where a physical key comes in. You do have to carry this around if you need access to it. And I would also recommend setting up a backup for the 2FA when you're using hardware as well. So I use my YubiKey, and then I use sometimes my Ledger as a two-factor because you can set up your Ledger to do that. And I also have a MacBook Pro that has the Touch ID. Touch ID also works as a physical 2FA backup. So whatever combination you want to use, I would just recommend using a physical if at all possible, because it is the most secure way to lock down your accounts. And then if you don't have access to the physical, or if it's not an option on the product because sometimes they don't support the physical 2FA, you will use an authenticator app. And for an authenticator app, oftentimes you see Google Auth. I do not recommend that because it's Google. They're going to take your data. They're going to sell the data. So I would recommend Authy. It's the one I've been using for a few years, and it works exactly like Google, except it's not tied into their ecosystem. And yes, you can use Authy to set up 2FA on your Google account as well. So you can add accounts to it. You can scan the barcode. You can do everything like you could in like a Google Auth app. I would just recommend getting off of Google services if at all possible. Not financial advice, not security advice, just some Web3 degen advice. So, and then we talked about not using your phone number for potential of getting SIM jacked.
Yep.
So this was a very quick overview of some Web2 security basics, password management, and then making sure that you're using two-factor. If you need help on Web3 security best practices, click the card. It'll link out to a video that we did on using ENS subdomains and generating different wallet addresses to keep your assets safe. And last thing, just thanks so much for hanging out with us in this weird little degen corner that we have. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter. We're probably degens there, and hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you in the next one.